Next one's from Agnes Schaefer. What was the difference with the Holy Spirit in John 20:22 when Jesus breathed on them and Pentecost? She's talking about when Jesus breathed on him and said, receive the Holy Spirit. He who sends you forgive, they're forgiven. He who sends you retain, they are retained. He gave the apostles the power to forgive sins in the sacrament of penance. This was an act of the Holy Spirit. He breathed on them, received the Holy Spirit. That enabled him to do something. Now, when the Holy Spirit came upon them, Pentecost, we're talking about the indwelling of the Holy Spirit, remaining with them always, never leaving them, living there, okay, permanently, unless you commit a mortal sin. And then just the character is still there. Then you have to go to confession to have it restored. But that's the difference there. So one's for prophetic, he received the Holy Spirit for a particular function, ordained a priest, they received the Holy Spirit, ordination, received, even you receive grace to want to become a Catholic, okay? It's for a certain activity, actual grace. Then when you're talking about the Holy Spirit coming, sending upon them, that's the indwelling of the Holy Spirit. That's permanent. Okay. Aki Mumba. Why are Capuchins in South African countries not empowered like their counterparts in other parts of the world? For instance, owning universities and other income-generating projects. That's very easy. They don't have the money. We got the money. Yeah, sure. Jesuits got a lot of money. They got all the universities. You know. How are the Jesuits doing in Africa? I don't know. The Capuchins I wouldn't expect to be doing too well, because the Capuchins don't have money as it is, usually. But, and I'm not condemning the Jesuits. They have a different type of procedure and their calling in their life. But, and you're saying empower. You mean, who gives them the cash? Not the government. Well, if they do make a deal with the government, they'll regret it, that's for sure. But if there's Capuchins in Africa that don't have anything, that's good. That's the way they should, all Capuchins should be living. Poverty. That's where poverty, chastity, and obedience. So they are actually probably, I don't know, and my brothers might be saying this, is they might be living better lives than we are, the empowered Capuchins. But I think that's, I don't want to, there's Capuchins all over the world that are living wonderful Capuchin lives. In the United States too, everywhere. Yeah. Often on an individual basis, because they abstain from certain things. They don't sit around watching TV all day long, stuff like that. They actually are praying and stuff like that and helping the poor, going out. So there's very good Capuchins. And there's a lot of them. And they're in Africa, and they're in the United States. So I don't think there's empowerment to talk about. I think you're talking about how do these people get money in the United States? How do the Capuchins? This, Aki, I'm not sure if you're suggesting to us that maybe the Capuchins in the United States should maybe be having as much money as the Africans. I'm not mad at you or anything. I'm just saying, are you trying to say that this, how come they're empowered like their counterparts? How come they're not empowered like their counterparts in other parts of the world? Like owning something. Empowered means to own something. Well, that means if you got money, that you're empowered. Well, the Lord delivers from empowerment. It's Capuchins. That's all I got to say. But it's because we're wealthier countries. That's a simple answer. We're wealthier. And this one's coming from Beth Latshaw, Latshaw. She says, what is the difference between being religious and being spiritual? I was told being Lutheran is religious. Being Franciscan is spiritual. Oh, that's nonsense, okay? I don't know who told you that. I wasn't a Franciscan. There are Lutherans that are very spiritual and very religious. There are Franciscans that are very spiritual and very religious. There are also Lutherans that are aren't either. And our Franciscans, it's shame to say, and aren't either. Okay? Being religious and being spiritual. Religious means that your way of life gives worship to God in some form. Your interests and everything else. Being spiritual means you're able to go beyond your limitations. That God created you a human being, but the power of the Spirit enables you to reach out, go beyond towards God. Okay? And that's when it's positive. It's a spiritual in that sense. You can reach out and go to the evil side too. We usually don't call that spiritual. That's usually diabolical. But the Spirit makes you go beyond what you are towards the Lord. Okay, I think that's, I hope the Lutherans are happy with that answer. There's some very, very good, wonderful Lutherans, Protestant.